A lot going on in real estate headlines lately. Today, we are going to dive into some of my favorites, starting with Kanye. He finally sold his completely destroyed Malibu Mansion. There is a mystery $300 million house that's about to hit the market in Malibu. And Ellen just made an absolute fortune on her latest flip near Santa Barbara. We've got those stories plus a couple other we're gonna get into today. Let's do this. So Kanye finally found a buyer for that house in Malibu that he ruined, and he ended up losing a ton of money on this deal. We talked about this one plenty on the channel in the past, but we haven't talked about it since it went pending. So here it is on Zillow, listed as pending status. We don't know what the final sales price will be, but what we do know is that it was last listed for $39 million. And we know he bought it in 2021 for $57 million, so that's not good. If you guys remember, for some reason the listing agent used all of the original photos. Like, this is what it looked like whenever Kanye originally bought the house. It's a 4-bedroom house. It's about 4,000 square feet. It's obviously right on the water. But this is what this house looks like now. So he basically completely gutted the house and then just let it sit here, exposed to the ocean air, rotting away. He just left it sitting here. Like, he never even moved into the place. Can you imagine if you're one of his neighbors here, living in one of these perfect houses, just sitting right on the beach, enjoying your views, but then you're just sitting right next to this monstrosity. At least it still hung on to his curb appeal. You still got the windows and the garage door on the street side. I know he spent at least $1 million on this demo. He shouldn't have, but this is California after all. So he probably spent at least $1 million demoing this house, which means he's on track to lose, what, $30 million on this deal at least? I personally can't believe that there's anyone out there who's willing to pay even $39 million for this house, but Malibu is one of the best places in the world to own real estate. Some of the most expensive home sales on record do come out of this town. So yeah, maybe there's some buyer out there who's obsessed with the Tadao Ando architecture and they figure, all right, I'll buy this for $35 million or something. I'll put 5 or 10 million into it and I'll have myself a nice little beachfront trophy home. Ellen DeGeneres just had a massive win. She bought this house a couple of years ago just outside of Santa Barbara. She paid $70 million for the place and she just resold it for $96 million. Ellen basically made the same amount of money on this flip as Kanye lost on his Malibu house. She sold it to some guy named Robert Friedland. He's a financier and founder of this company called Ivanhoe Capital. Now, Ellen's house was never officially for sale, so the best we get for photos is from this article. It's a couple years old, but check this out. At the time, she was asking $160 million for this place. Technically, you're right on the water, but you're not getting to the water if you live in this house because there is a massive cliff at the end of your lawn. She's actually got 2,100 total feet of ocean frontage here. This is the main house, but there's a lot more to it. This place is actually sitting on 22 acres. And here's your second house. This is not even a guest house. This is a full-blown house that also is sitting on this property. This is what that second house looks like inside. Huge kitchen. Really hideous cabinets, but big kitchen. And they call this room the gallery hallway. This is how you know you made it. If you've got a gallery hallway in your house, you're ballin'. I'm not sure if this pool belongs to the main house or the second house, but check out those views. Here's the other house. Same lot, same property, different house. This one's nicknamed Bellevue. Finishes inside are a little bit more modern. It's got this huge library. And here's the pool at Bellevue, so I guess this one's a little bit more private. No views, lots of privacy. Yeah, see, so for this house, the pool is actually tucked on the back side of the house. If I lived in a house like this, anywhere on the coast, I would want my swimming pool on the coast side, not behind the house. That's kind of weird. But if you are feeling some views, you got this little covered dining area to hang out at. If you own this place, I guess this path here is actually how you get down to the beach. The property comes with its own pond, and this was definitely a labor of love. They're saying that the owners spent 14 years developing this thing out into what you see today. So let's move on from the celebrities for a second and just talk about a genuinely cool house. Check this out. There is this Dracula-inspired mansion in Las Vegas that just hit the market, and this place is pretty wild. There's actually a Las Vegas magician who built the home for himself. It's got 15,000 square feet. It has ramparts, a watchtower, secret passages, and hidden doors. To be honest, guys, I didn't even know what a rampart was, but apparently it's actually this like defensive wall. I'm pretty sure this section up here probably has a walking area on it. That's what a rampart is. Anyways, they want $10 million for the house. It's a 6-bedroom, 15,000 square foot mansion. The cover shot is epic. Like, could you imagine if this was your house? This is the front door that you walk up to every day. Or you're inviting some friends over. This is the front door that those friends are walking up to. I love how the driveway leading up to the place has these creepy lampposts. Oh my gosh. So here's your library. This right here is probably where the king of the castle sits. Of course, with all that square footage, you got a movie theater in here. There is an indoor water feature, probably a hot tub. Life-size chessboard out back. Awesome. It's interesting. He really did go with like a mix between contemporary architecture and castle architecture. I have never seen anybody do that before. The office is a little busy for my taste. This is kind of like another version of one of those gallery halls that we were looking at earlier. If I bought this house, I would tell the guy, just include all the books. There's no way I'm filling up all these bookshelves. I want all the books included in the sale. God, talk about busy. Here's just another room that is out of control. We have a bar, a seating area, so much stuff on the walls. Crazy detail on the ceilings. There's a lot going on in this house. It's kind of like stimulation overload. The dining room sits like 15 people in. Let's take a guess where the owner sits. Another crazy space. Like, look at this hallway. Look at the carpet. Look at all of the art on the walls. This place is like a museum. You got a place inside where you can get your hair cut. Outside, you sure feel like you're driving up to a castle. Like, I don't even know if I like this. You're driving up to your house and it feels like a straight up prison. There's this huge sign here that says this property is under 24-hour surveillance. There's something about this picture that feels like it doesn't even belong in the listing. So we have this random offshoot. This is like neoclassical White House style architecture. Probably a guest house or something with a Rolls Royce parked out front. Both just feel very out of place here. The views are great though. This place is huge, it's private, it's unique. It's going to take a very specific buyer to buy this one, but when that buyer comes along, I don't really have much of doubt that they'll get their $10 million ask, because you're getting a lot for 10 million bucks. Let's put it that way. This one's gonna be our shortest story of the day. So there's this house in Malibu that's rumored to be about to hit the market, and when it does, they're gonna be asking $300 million. So I guess if you want to buy a house in Malibu, you could buy Kanye's old house for $30 million, or you could spend 10 times that and buy this mystery house for $300 million. Unfortunately though, there are basically no details that are being made available at this time, other than that Kurt Rappaport has the listing, and Kurt has sold a bunch of other 9-figure deals in the Malibu area over the years, so he's for sure a good fit for this listing. Kurt reported to Bloomberg that pretty soon he's going to be bringing a $300 million home to the market as a private listing, and if they do get their price, it's going to be the most expensive home ever sold in the United States. Now, you guys know how I feel about these monster price tags. It's a little annoying that sometimes what these real estate agents do is they slap a crazy price tag on their property, in this case $300 million, and they know when they list it that it's not actually worth that. They're only really hoping to get picked up by all the news outlets. It kind of gives them some free marketing, but you never know if this property is sitting on the right lot with the right house on it, and if it has the right views. Based on the comps alone, it's not crazy to think that it could fetch 300 million bucks. Time will tell, and if and when the listing does go live, you know we're going to be talking about it here on the channel. All I can think of right now though is Kurt's commission check. If this place lists and sells for $300 million, he stands to make like $7 or $8 million just in commission, just on this one house. That's a wrap for today's episode, you guys. One more thing before I go though, I'm gonna say this. I've seen a lot of you guys show up in the comments asking about what's going on with my new build. For anybody who hasn't been following along on those videos, I'm in the process of building a spec home out here in Scottsdale, and it has had me absolutely bogged down for the past probably 3 weeks or so. The timeline has been absolutely bananas. I listed the house for sale. Within just a few days, I got an offer, and an offer with a very quick close. At the point of the offer, I didn't even have the certificate of occupancy yet. So I have just been scrambling like a chicken with my head cut off for the past couple of weeks, just trying to get this house ready for the new buyers. I just wanted to put it out there that I'm not putting it off. I have seen your comments. I know a lot of you guys want to see that house. I am proud of it, and I'm looking forward to showing it off someday at some point, but it just hasn't been the time yet. I've been crazy busy, but we'll make it happen soon. That's a wrap for today. I'll see you guys next time.